I thought it would be fun to talk about how we met as a couple.
Hey, that is a fun thing to talk about.
Yep. Valentine's Day was yesterday, so it just seemed appropriate.
So we met on a magical night, starry eve,
Ooh.
in the midst of sometime in the year 2017. No, 16.
Was it?
Yeah, 2016. Although I know that I'm very sure we've met previously just like as a happenstance, but we ran in the same circles.
Yeah, we had a lot of mutual friends, which we didn't know until we finally met.
And then when we started dating, it was like, oh yeah, why didn't you guys date sooner? And it was like, well, why didn't you introduce us sooner?
Yeah, the blame is elsewhere.
Yes. I think timing's right though. It was the right time. It was the perfect time actually.
So it was at a show that I was performing on the bill that time. Josh wasn't.
I was just going to a show.
He was just watching. And I was playing with a band called Leper. I was playing synth at the time.
Deep, dulcet tones of gothic synth.
Chocolatey gothic goodness.
That's right.
But yeah, so I was playing that show and I remember seeing Josh just across the room and realizing I'd never met him before. I could see his eyes, and in his eyes I knew he was a safe person. And that was important. Yeah, he had safe eyes. Yeah, so I remember that. I don't know. Do you remember seeing me for the first time?
Yes, I do. She had this bright smile and she was dancy and she had this cool, it reminded me of Beetlejuice, like a Beetlejuice dress, the black and white vertical stripe and this blue hair. Yes, and this blue hair, and she just looked really fun. But I also have been like, there's people out there who are, in this, like the punk rock scene. I had a history where I was like, I'm leery and weary of certain folks. So I was like, is she like secretly a mean person? So I had my defenses were up when it came to because I've learned that sometimes I'm drawn to people that I shouldn't necessarily be drawn to.
Right.
So I've learned from my mistakes, and I had my defenses up. So I was like, I'll strike up a conversation maybe if I get the chance because he seems cool, and then we did several times that night talk about all the fun random things.
But I just remember we would be chatting to each other and then with mutual friends also, and his jokes per minute actually matched mine, and the joke endurance lasted over the whole conversation, whereas most people would peter out when talking to me. He was able to just keep going, to keep on joking around. He's aptly named Josh because he likes to josh around.
That's yes, that it somehow worked out that way. It's God's design, I guess. Yeah, it was meant to be, just like we were meant to be.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, and then our dating felt like 2 years, and then our engagement felt like a year, but the dating and engagement was actually like 7 months or so combined.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
But when it's right, and we were in the right spot.
Yep. It was just very clear to each of us that the other person was just the one, and the time was right. So
why waste it?
Yeah.
I'd already dilly-dallied and
right.
I was single for a very long time, and and a couple stints of not singleness that was just very bad idea, So I learned though, it was, and I appreciate the amazingness that Stasia is now so much more because of the things I had experienced. So one of those things, I guess. Yeah.
Well, same. I think I just learned through some experience what I needed and what I didn't need. Even though at first glance, I would get sort of mixed up about what I needed. And yeah, and so I think I met Josh at the right time. I think I was finally ready for like a nice guy, you know, and that was fine. And it was a good thing, not just fine. It was actually something to be desired, to be a nice guy,
yes.
you know?
And it turned out Stasia was not mean after all.
Not secretly mean.
Not secretly really, really mean. And so that was nice. That is very nice, actually. So yeah, it's awesome. I mean, people are people. Everyone's got their moments.
Yep.
And the people that, you know, they can change, the ones that are mean. But it just was, I'm very happy that things turned out great. And they are continuing to turn out great. And we have a baby now.
Yeah.
And we've been married for like a really long time somehow. I think, feels like 3 years.
Right.
Amazing. But yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. This is awesome. So thank you. Love you.
Love you.
All right.
Yes, high five.
Yes. Holy matrimony.
It's fantastic.